4BC Weekend Mornings
4BC Brisbane.
with Kim Mothershaw.
12 to 11, we're red tape busting with Shane Bowering. Shane, this is a story happened actually to my dad going back a few weeks now. There's a shopping centre, an area. It's got a group of shops, but there's car parking there.
Yep.
For years it had no signs. I'm not sure when the signs went up, but quite noticeably now it's customer parking only. If you park here, you're going to get towed away if you're not a customer.
Yes. Yep.
It doesn't say whether you have to be a customer right at that moment you're parked or whether you have to be a customer any time.
Okay.
Anyway, he parked there, got in a bus, went to the hospital, came back 2 hours later, his car was gone. And
not good.
when he rang, they said, yeah, it'll cost you $350 to get your car back. Now, okay, that's fair enough, but the parking, the towing apparently was $150. My question is, if you are in that situation where you park on what I gather is private land, or if you're not a customer there, and if there's a lot of these around Brisbane where they have signs, similar signs, who decides how much they can fine you? How can they say, hey, you will pay the $150 towing, but we're also going to slug you $200? And is there a limit? Can they say we're going to slug you $1,000? Or where does it end?
And look, very difficult question to answer. Essentially, though, being on private land, probably they can almost do whatever they want. However, two issues raised. One, it says for non-customers, if you're a non-customer, we'll tow you away if you park here. A non-customer, but if your dad had been a customer there and had visited the doctors at different times, it doesn't specify whether you're a non-customer on the day or a non-customer in general. So I think there's one avenue that, if it went to court, say, look, let's just say in Utopia, and I'm not a solicitor, but if it went to court, I would see that would be an argument that you'd be able to present that, hey, I am a customer, a regular customer of the doctor or whoever. It's just on this instance that you're not a customer. I think the sign needs to be better worded as to non-customers on the day, basically. Then the other issue with what they can charge. To me, if it says that, we will tow you away if you're a non-customer and you are a non-customer and you get towed away, I would think it legitimate that they obviously charge the towing fees and maybe a very small administration cost to cover their administration costs on making the call and doing whatever they need to do. Would be very minimal, $5 or $10 on top. For them to be charging something extraordinary and something outrageous on top of the towing fees, to me, is clearly wrong. Whether it's legal, I'm probably gathering that it might be, again, not being a solicitor, but it could be because it's on private land. The private person might be able to decide what they do with your vehicle or however that happens once they tow the vehicle away. But I just think it's totally outrageous that they're basically making money off an elderly gentleman, off a pensioner, when all it's costing is $150 for the tow, and it's probably taken them a 5-minute phone call to arrange the tow.
Yeah, see, I'm not concerned, in this case, elderly person, pensioner, but regardless of who it is, Shane, I mean, it's one thing if I go and park in your front yard. I'm parking in what I know is private property.
Yep.
And, okay, if you're parking in a shopping centre and there might be signs up saying you're going to get towed away, that's fine, but is it, I don't see how they get the right to say, but we're going to slug you. There's got to be, I think there has to be some law introduced where it says this is the most you can charge people if you're going to tow their car away.
Yep.
And it's not only in shopping centres like that. I saw one recently, I think it was at Sandgate, if you park under the Woolworths at Sandgate. I'm pretty sure, and I can't remember exactly the sign, but it says something to the effect, if you're going to be here over 2 hours or if you leave the premises or something, we're going to slug you $22 extra for parking or whatever. But how do they come up with that figure? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, and that's very difficult, and I don't think that there would be any legislation that overrides that says what they can charge and what they can't. Maybe, the ACCC, maybe the Competition and Consumer Commission, they might be involved to be able to say, well, hey, you can't, charge anything more than what's legitimate and what, your admin costs would be, because it's the same with the banks. When the banks try and charge us an admin fee that's too dear, the ACCC are on top of that and all over that. So maybe it might be worth me, again, another bit of homework this week. Let me research and talk to the ACCC and find out, what's the regulatory body, who's responsible, and also what are they legitimately allowed to charge.
Yeah, I'd like to know. And for that matter, if you've had a similar situation happen to you or to someone you love, or even someone you hate for that matter. 13 13 32. I'd like to know what they slugged you as far as the towaway fee was concerned, because as I say, I'm pretty sure it's only about $150. So,
and as I said, to me, it's unethical if that shopping centre complex is charging drivers and charging people who park there anything substantially more than just the admin cost and the tow cost. That's really all they should be trying to get back.
By the way, I can understand their point too. In any shopping centre, if you've got people parking there who aren't customers, I can understand their aggro and they're wanting to move the cars on. Not a problem.
I agree, except I probably have a different viewpoint when we come to Westfield and Garden City and whatever, because those shopping centres applied to be built there because there's public transport going right past their door. So they wanted, when they initially set up there, they wanted the passing traffic. Now they're trying to say, hey, we're going to start charging you for parking on our land because, we need the customers. Well, to me, they're double dipping. They've wanted to be built there all along because there's public transport. They encourage people to come and shop and to park there. Now they're saying, well, if you're going to park here, we're going to slug you. To me, that's wrong, and council should be stopping that. And councils are very slack and very, they're not really wanting to challenge the supermarkets. And I think they should be standing up for shoppers.
Got a traffic accident, a single vehicle accident before the Sandgate Road underpass has just been cleared away. It's still causing some delays. That's on the Gateway Motorway southbound around Deagon Deviation and Brackenridge Overpass. On the subject of cars, Shane, what about tolls? What about the road tolls and, for that matter, the public sector basically being gagged on them? Well,
there's an issue with the tolls. It was in the paper yesterday, I think, that the go-between bridge is $24.50. It works out per kilometre. It's only 150 metres or whatever it is. But the cost per kilometre, once you extrapolate that out, is $24.50. It is the dearest toll in the world. Far dearer than going across the San Francisco Bridge in New York. I think in New York, it's like $1.50 or something per kilometre.
Yeah.
How in the heck is our government being able to get away with charging $24.50 per kilometre for that 150-metre section of the go-between bridge? It's outrageous. So we have got a reputation now across the world that we have that's not a great reputation. We've got the dearest toll per kilometre in the whole world. To me, what an outrage. That, we've got gold-plated tolls, a gold-plated go-between bridge for 24. It's wrong.
I've never been across it for that very reason, and I try to dodge tolls wherever I can. Gateway's one I do use because I can see that it's a big shortcut. When the Legacy Tunnel comes on they're talking about $5 for that.
Look, there are some good points, obviously, in being able to cut through the traffic and whatever, but, surely the government, there should be a fixed fee for any tollway that you go on. It should be a fixed kilometre for the different type of vehicle. Not that it's a bit of a lucky dip. You're going to pay $24.50 per kilometre going across the go-between. You pay X amount going over the gateway. Look, let's get something standardised so drivers know what they're going to pay. Ridiculous.
Shane, great to have you in, and we'll catch you again next Sunday, Easter Sunday. In the meantime, you'll be in with Walter during the week. Absolutely,
10 o'clock on Wednesday night.
That's the Red Tape Busting with Shane Bowering. If you'd like to know more, if you'd like to contact Shane, admin@redtapebusters.com.au. He'd love to hear from you. Thanks, Shane.
Good on you, Kim. Thanks, mate.
Shane Bowering at 3 to 11. You're with News Talk 4BC.